And brought to you live via St. Louis, Missouri, this is Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D, and tonight is Game 2 of this 3-game weekend set between the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. Last night, despite a fantastic effort on the part of Dustin May on the bump for the Redbirds, an old storyline emerged. The bullpen coughed it up, and they dropped the first game of this 3-game set to the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 4-2. But tonight is a new night, and tonight is a new game. And before I give you the starting lineups, join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where y'all are watching or listening from. I hope y'all are having an excellent Saturday evening. Thank you for joining me here on Game Mic. It is always a pleasure to spend part of my evening here with you, calling Redbird action here right on Game Mic. So, the starting 9 for the visiting Cincinnati Reds. Batting leadoff at shortstop is Ellie De La Cruz. Batting second at first base is Sal Stewart. Batting third in left field is J.J. Bleday. Batting cleanup at DH is Eugenio Suarez. Batting fifth at catcher is Stevenson. Batting sixth in right field is Marte. Batting seventh in center field is Friedel. Batting eighth at second base, the 22-year-old rookie Arroyo. And batting ninth at the hot corner is Hayes. So that is your starting 9 for the visiting Cincinnati Reds. Now, for the St. Louis Cardinals tonight, it's going to look kind of similar to the jumbled up lineup that we experienced last night. So here it comes, batting leadoff at second base, the NL rookie sensation, J.J. Weatherholt. Batting second in right field is Jordan Alexander Walker. Batting third at first base is Alec Burleson. Batting cleanup behind the dish is Ivan Herrera. Batting fifth out in left field is Lars Nootbaar. Batting sixth at shortstop is Mason Wynn. Batting seventh at DH is Brian Torres. Batting eighth at the hot corner is the rook, Blaze Jordan. And batting ninth in center field is Nate Church. Now, going tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals out on the bump is their so-called 3-starter. And when I say so-called 3-starter, it's because he's pitched better than a 3-starter in many cases would. And he's been very, very, very under the radar, very unsung given the level of his performance this year. And that, of course, is none other than one Andre Pallante. In 19 games this year, he's 10-6 with a 4.02 ERA and 105 in the third innings pitched, 75 strikeouts in that span, and a 1.26 ERA. And in his last start against the Diamondbacks, where he took the no decision, he went 5 1/3, and he allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, issued 2 walks, and managed 3 strikeouts. But here's the thing that's interesting about Andre Pallante that makes him quite a bit different than the rest of the Redbird pitching staff this year, which is to say, at Busch, at 61 1/3 innings pitched so far this year, Pallante has an ERA of 4.99 at Busch Stadium. That's very unusual because the Redbird starting pitchers generally thrive pitching at Busch. The offense doesn't, but that's a slightly different story. And when at Busch, opponents are hitting a combined .293 against Pallante. Those are some interesting numbers. Hopefully, that is something he can overcome tonight. And starting for the visiting Cincinnati Reds is the 26-year-old right-hander Hunter Green, who's 2-1 with a 6.06 ERA this year. This is his 4th start of the year for Cincinnati. In his previous start against the Rockies at Boulder Field, rather I should say in Denver more accurately, Green went 6 innings pitched, giving up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, allowing no walks, and logging 7 strikeouts in that time. In fact, something that is interesting to know about Green, you look at those 7 strikeouts, they really stand out, is he definitely has a strong propensity for racking them up. In his career, which he made his big league debut in 2022, he was actually a first-round pick for the Cincinnati Reds. I want to say maybe it was 2017, 2018, I forget. He has 131 more strikeouts than innings pitched over the span of his career. So we kind of get the idea and what the deal is with him. So with all that in mind, join the Game Mike roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. In the leadoff spot this evening is none other than Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. Good evening, chat. Welcome to the stream. Be sure to drop a like and please subscribe. We're less than 30 subs away from 1,200. Your sub really means a lot and helps the channel immensely. Indeed it does, Justin. And cheers to you. Happy Hodag. It's almost time for Cardinals baseball again. It really is, Hodag. I hope you're doing well tonight. Tuning in from Green Bay, Wisconsin. How about that? Final 50 meters. Cubbies and Buccos still no score. Not sure who should we want to win that one. I'll go with Skeens. It's a choice. And Carrie from Jacksonville, Illinois. Cheers to Jacksonville, Illinois. Anthony, greetings from South Dakota. A whopping 100 degrees today. Hoping the Cards get heated up tonight. Go Redbirds. Boy, Anthony, if there is a moment to start. Jimmy, hi Paul and everybody. Hey Jimmy, how's it going? Edgar Williams, let's pray. On this and many other occasions, no doubt, Edgar. So we're about, I would say, 2.5 minutes away from scheduled first pitch. And I hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday night, and thank you so much for spending part of your evening here with me and Redbird Action on Game Mike. In St. Louis right now, it is utterly oppressive weather-wise. At the moment, St. Louis has it's an 89-degree weather, but it feels like 95. The sun is out, and believe it or not, it is a 68% humidity, so it's pretty gross out there right now. So I definitely do not envy the players on the field, and Lord knows I probably wouldn't choose tonight to go to Busch Stadium for that reason alone. But hey, if you're a real fan, you endure. Doge Bowl, like, subscribe, share. I like how you think, Doge Bowl. How are you doing tonight? So if you're just joining me here, we're a little under a minute away from scheduled first pitch. Cardinals tonight are wearing their alternate Saturday powder blue tops, red letters and numbers, birds on the bat with the standard red home ball cap with the white STL interlocking on the front. So a classic look, something of a look back towards the 1980s, but I think they had the whole one piece. It wasn't a button-up, as I remember correctly. I always associate these powder blues with the Whitey Herzog era. Now, taking the field is the St. Louis Cardinals, and stepping onto the bump is Andre Pallante. He's looking all ready and pumped to go. And starting off for the Reds in the top of the first inning, he will face Ellie De La Cruz, Salstor, and Blade. Andre Pallante, 10-6 with a 4.02 ERA, 31 walks against 75 strikeouts, a whip of 1.26 in 19 starts this year. So this will be his 20th start. He throws a four-seamer, a slider, a sinker, a knuckle curve, and the split finger. He throws the four-seamer about a third of the time, followed shortly thereafter by the slider and sinker. But it's that knuckle curve that's a real swing and miss pitch for a guy that doesn't walk very many, and he doesn't strike out very many. Now the defensive alignment for the Cardinals: Dupar in left, Church in center, Walker in right, Jordan at third, Wynn at short, Weatherald at second, Burleson at first, and Herrera is behind the dish and battery mate to Andre Pallante, who's on the mound. In the on-deck circle, waiting to step into the box, is the all-world shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. He's in 276 this year. He'll be followed by Sal Stewart and J.J. Blade. So that's a thing. So we're just a moment away here from scheduled first pitch. The switch hitter, Ellie De La Cruz, will be hitting left-handed against the right-hander Pallante. And he begins making his slow strut up there towards the lefty batter's box. And we are just about ready to go underway here on Game Mike. Showing a little bit of Tito Francona over there. Always a pleasant sight. I have a great deal of respect and affection for him, despite the fact that he managed the Red Sox in the 2004 season. But you can't help but not like him. He's a good dude. Stepping into the box is De La Cruz. Pallante is on the bump. He comes motion. The first pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Weatherall on a hop. He throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. And we are underway. Nobody on with one out. Ellie De La Cruz bounces out 4-3 for the first out. Now here is Sal Stewart, the main competition to J.J. Weatherholt for NL Rookie of the Year. Stewart hitting .251, 21 home runs, 75 RBIs in 102 games. 799 OPS, righty-righty matchup. Nobody on with one out. Coming wide, Pallante, the first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is no balls in one strike. So join the game, Mike. Roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from tonight. Pallante's back onto the bump. He has his pitch. He winds. He deals. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the slider away, and the count is no balls and two strikes. Back into the box is Sal Stewart. Pallante has his pitch. He comes motion. The 0-2. Swinging strike three. Down, hacking goes Sal Stewart for the second out of the inning. So Sal Stewart hacks over the top of what appears to be a slider away, perhaps a knuckle curve, for the second out. Now here is J.J. Bleday, righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Pallante. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball up and in and off the trademark of Bleday, and the count is 0-1. J.J. Bleday hitting .236 on the year. Nobody on with two out. Here in the top of the first inning, no score. Infield defense shaded towards right against the lefty Bleday. The 0-1. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. That came in at 96 miles an hour, the four-seam fastball. Bleday is back into the box. Cincinnati is wearing their alternate red tops, gray bottoms with reds in white lettering across the chest. The 1-1. A splitter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. It's actually a pretty good road uniform in terms of some of the newer designs I've seen. Now, Pallante, he has his pitch. The 2-1 offering. Foul down the third base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball away. That came in at 96 miles an hour at the right handle, Pallante, and the count comes even at 2-2. So one strike away is Pallante from ending this top of the first inning. Back into the box is Bleday. Spins his bat a couple of times. Big wide open stance. He comes wide, the 2-2. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield defense, as I mentioned earlier, shaded towards right with nobody on the lefty Bleday. They're also playing basically against the grass of the outfield. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball up and away, so Bleday works a 2-out walk-off Pallante. And Cincinnati has a runner on first with 2 out here in the top of the first inning. So Bleday definitely fought off a few tough pitches there. Manages to work himself a walk. Now here is last night's hero for the Cincinnati Reds, Eugenio Suarez. He hit that 2-run home run in the top of the 7th inning that gave him the 3-2 lead at the time. They never looked back after that. Righty-righty matchup, runner on first with 2 out. The first pitch. A slider up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Suarez hitting .213 on the year. He's at cleanup tonight. From the stretch is Pallante. He sets at the Birds. The 1-0. Strike, slider on the inner third below the belt, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Twelve pitches so far for Pallante. He comes set at the Birds. The 1-1. Hit foul down the third base line and out of play, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Pallante is ahead of Suarez here 1-2. Pallante is on first following his 2-out walk. He leads off first. Into the box is Suarez. Cummins sets Pallante, setting at the Birds. The 1-2 offering. Swinging strike 3. Down flailing goes Suarez. For the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. After 1 half inning of play, it is the Cincinnati Reds nothing and the St. Louis Cardinals coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. Let's go to the chat. Alrighty. I'm seeing a lot of whistle time references down there, and rightfully so. It looks like Pallante, who is never one to put up huge strikeout numbers for the most part, he has no issue with pitching to contact. In fact, he seems to do it reasonably well. But a couple of strikeouts there in that top of the first inning. It's a very good look. The boy got a flat tire. Ah, I see now. Got it. Well, in any case, a very tight top of the first inning for Pallante and the Redbirds. Due up in the bottom of the first for the St. Louis Cardinals, J.J. Weatherholt, Jordan Walker, and Alec Burleson. If you didn't catch the starting lineup at the open of the broadcast, Herrera once again, he is hitting in the 4-hole. So basically, he switched up with Jordan Walker. He's hitting number 2 tonight. Didn't do much for him last night, neither of them, in fact. But there she blows. Jeff Coleman, hey, joining from work again. Let's go Cardinals. Jeff, I am so glad that we're able to keep you company while you're at work. I'm glad you spend that time here. Now, in the on-deck circle is J.J. Weatherholt. He will face the righty Hunter Green, who, as I mentioned, definitely has a propensity for working those strikeouts. Last time around, 6-inning pitch out there in Denver. Managed to walk none, strike out 7. He's 2-1 on the year with a 6.06 ERA. This is his 4th start of the year. 5 walks against 26 strikeouts, a whip of 1.16. Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. It is greatly appreciated, and your generosity is greatly appreciated. A 4-seamer, a slider, a split finger, and a sinker there for Hunter Green. Now the first pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball down and in, and the count is 0-1. It's a righty-lefty matchup with the righty Green on the mound facing the lefty hitting Weatherholt. Weatherholt is hitting .258 on the year, and the 0-1 offering. A slider down and in the dirt. The count is 1-1. Ethan, I have showed up. Yes, you have, Ethan. Hope you're well. Sam, hi, Paul D. Good evening again. Good evening, Sam. Now the 1-1 pitch. Head on up the middle, picked up by De La Cruz just to the left a second, but he boots the ball, and J.J. Weatherholt will be safe at first. So undoubtedly that will be an error on Ellie De La Cruz. That was a very, very routine play just to the left side of second. When he went over to his left to get it, he played it on his side instead of getting it in front of him. He couldn't get it out of his glove or into it. Defensive alignment for the Reds, Blay in left. Friedel in center, Marte in right, Hayes at third, De La Cruz is at short, Arroyo is at second. Here's the pitch to Walker. A 4-seam fastball well upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Sal Stewart at first. Behind the dish is Stevenson, battery mate to Hunter Green, who is on the mound. It's a 1-0 count with a runner on first. The 1-0 pitch. A slider down and in, and off the plate ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Now, let's get some runs. Cheers to that, Jeff. I'm all for it. Jordan Walker hitting .288, 22 home runs, 77 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup. The 2-0 pitch. Hit into shallow left field, and just out of the reach there of De La Cruz in shallow left center field, so it will be a single for Jordan Walker. And now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. And that one, Ellie De La Cruz had to spin around. He actually did get some leather on the ball. The pitch was off the trademark there. No, it was just beyond the reach of his leather in shallow left center. It was a low-lining bloop hit. So now runners on first and second, nobody out. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Burleson. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Dwayne Smith, Paul, JJ getting on is a good start. It really is. Burleson hitting .281 so far. Here's the pitch. Hit into left center field. Coming in is left fielder. It falls in for a base hit. Coming home is Weatherall. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He slides head first, and he is safe at home, and that will give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead on the RBI single to left center field for Alec Burleson. And the Cardinals have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. So Alec Burleson jumping all over that from Hunter Green, and the Cardinals get out to an early 1-0 lead. And it really looked to be a slider that was left up center of the plate, and it fell in there before Blade could get to it. So runners on first and second, nobody out. Now here is Ivan Herrera. He is at catcher tonight and in the four-hole second night in a row. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. A four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-0. A nice start indeed. Herrera's hitting .239, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs. The 1-0. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, 96 miles an hour out of the right hand of Green, and the count is 1-1. Herrera has been fairly cold of late. He's looking to turn it around here. Now, from the stretch is Green, the 1-1. Fouled straight back on the sinker down Broadway, and the count is 1-2 strikes. That one he just missed because it fouled straight back. It literally ricocheted on the deflection there off the red brick that crowns the area behind home plate. Runners lead off first and second with nobody out. Walker's at second, Burleson's at first. From the stretch is Green, the 1-2. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball on the outside corner, and the count is 1-2. No hit by pitch yet, but the ticker has been updated. It's been one game since the last time he was plunked, which last night, the 1-2. Swinging strike three on the slider, down and away for the first out of the inning. So Ivan Herrera goes down hacking for the first out. Now here comes Lars Nootbaar. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup with runners on first and second, one out. One already in for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the first inning. Lars Nootbaar hitting .246 this year, a .721 OPS. Coming set from the stretch is Green. The first pitch to Newt. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball, inner third above the knees, and the count is 0-1. Lars Nootbaar, 39 games, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, .246. Coming set is Green above the belt. The 0-1. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. John Harding. Hey, Paul, this is the start I love. You and me both, John Harding. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. Runners lead off first and second. Coming set above the belt is Green. The 1-1 to Nootbaar. A splitter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1 strike. Lars Nootbaar looking to work the count here. 16 pitches so far for Hunter Green. Coming set is Green. The 2-1. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by the second baseman Royal. Shoved past second to one. On to first. A double play. An inning-ending double play. And that will do it. However, 1 run, 2 hits, no walks, 2 left on. After 1 full inning of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. So in that case, Lars Nootbaar grounds out into the 4-6-3 double play to end it. But the Cardinals are on the board. They have an early 1-0 lead. Brother Joe, good evening, Paul and everybody in the chat. Numbers 36 on likes. Roger Baseman. What? Yeah, I know. I know. I know how you feel, Roger. I saw it. I still don't believe it. Coming out for his second frame of work will be Andre Pallante. He went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. Due up for the Reds is Stevenson, Marte, and Friedel. So 5, 6, and 7 in the Reds order. Correction, they did not go 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. I must be getting old. So I hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday evening. It's good to see everybody. Did I see 113 yesterday? Not locally. I would say that, Roger, not locally. So we wait the top of the second inning. Andre Pallante was looking rather sharp. Had a couple of punch-outs, which is always nice to see. Now we are back here for the top of the second inning. Andre Pallante is back onto the bump. He is facing the catcher Stevenson, who is in the 5-hole tonight. On deck is Marte, followed by Friedel. Stevenson hitting .249 on the year. It's a righty-righty matchup. Pallante has his pitch. He comes wide. The first pitch, a slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. So Pallante doesn't walk very many, doesn't strike out very many, but he's started off strong in the strikeout department. The 1-0 offering, swinging strike on the slider downstairs, and the count is 1-1. Stevenson swung right over the top of that thing. Stevenson this year, 8 home runs, 28 RBIs with a .249 average, 726 OPS. The 1-1. A slider up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. That was a 17 pitch for Pallante so far. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the second inning. 1-0 Cardinals. He comes wide. He deals. Swinging strike on the slider down Broadway. 87 miles an hour out of the right hand of Pallante. And the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, in Tucson. Man, Roger, I don't know how you do it. Now, the 2-2 pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. Slightly having to get out of the way of that is Stevenson. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is the righty Marte. Now, Pallante, he comes wide. The 3-2. Swinging strike 3. Down, hack and goes Stevenson for the first out of the inning. So a strikeout here to start off the top of the second for Andre Pallante. That breaking stuff is getting some nice tilt on it tonight. Definitely garnering some swing and misses there by the Reds. Now here is the righty Marte. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the second inning. 1-0 Cardinals. Now the first pitch to Marte. Hit to the left side. Picked it up there on the hop. Wide of third by Blaze Jordan. He throws to first in time to get Marte going down the line. So Marte bounces out 5-3 for the second out. 1 pitch, 1 out there. A quick couple outs in the top of the second inning for Pallante. Now here comes the lefty hitting center fielder Friedel. TJ Friedel in 196 at-bats this year, hitting .173, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, a .522 OPS. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch from Pallante. A 4-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Infield defense slightly shaded towards right with Blaze Jordan playing up against the grass with the lefty Friedel. The 1-0. A 4-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Back into the box is Friedel. It's a 2-0 count. Herrera sets up on the outside corner. The 2-0. Strike, slider down Broadway, and the count is 2-1. That one actually missed its location. He was very much trying to paint that on the outside corner. Friedel doesn't pull the trigger, and it's a strike, and the count is 2-1. Now, the 2-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider, down and away, and the count is 2-2. Friedel swung right over the top of that slider from Pallante, and Pallante is one strike away here from retiring the Reds in order. Nobody on with two out, top of the second inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Stepping out of the box briefly is Friedel. He gets back into the box, double taps the plate real quick. Pallante comes wide, the 2-2. A four-seam fastball, called strike three on the outside corner, whispers over the black. For the third and final out of the inning, Friedel gets the old backwards K, Major League Baseball's impression of Shrellick, for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 1.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. All right, let's see here. Dennis, Tucson doesn't quite have the humidity we do. I know, but you got to respect 113 all the same. It's out there in the desert. I mean, I find the desert beautiful myself. And I've been in the desert of the Southwest, late July, early August before. It's kind of like what it's like when you open up a blazing hot oven and you get that first whiff at you. At least that's how I remember it. Yeah, Pallante is looking good. Pretty darn sharp. I work in the air, watch dudes working out in it every day. Fair enough. How big is the crowd? That's a good question, Philip. If I'm guessing, probably about 25,000. They have a decent crowd tonight. Well, whatever the case may be, we await the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Redbirds is Mason Wynn, Brian Torres, and Blaze Jordan. Part of this platoon, when facing righty pitchers, in this case Hunter Green. Cardinals in the bottom of the first inning managed to push one across on an RBI single by Alec Burleson that scored J.J. Weatherall. And we are back for the bottom of the second inning. Out for a second frame is Hunter Green. Stepping into the box is Mason Wynn. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Mason Wynn hitting .235 with a .629 OPS. Now, the first pitch. Hit on out there towards second. Coming in is Arroyo. Throws across his body to first in time to get Mason Wynn down the line. And Mason Wynn grounds out 4-3 for the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. So one pitch, one out for Hunter Green. And here comes the lefty, Brian Torres. Brian Torres just turned 29 earlier this month. 29-year-old rookie. Spent a lot of time in the minors and the independent leagues, I think about 11. Time was granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Torres. Righty-lefty matchup, Torres is batting .214 on the year. Infield defense very much shaded towards right with the lefty Torres. The first pitch, strike, four-seam fastball, inner third, thigh high, and the count is no balls and one strike. Jimmy Otero, hey there, Big Paul D, I'm ready for a win. Cheers to that. The 0-1. Foul tipped on the slider, down and in, and the count is now no balls and two strikes. All right. Back into the box is Torres. Now the 0-2 pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up wide there by the first baseman. Tosses to Hunter Green cover, and he beats Torres to the bag for the second out of the inning. So Torres grounds out 3-1 for the second out. Philip, used to be 50,000 and up. I take it you're talking about the old Busch Stadium. As far as I know, the current Busch Stadium does not have that capacity. I could be wrong. Now, here is the first pitch to Blaze Jordan. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third above the knees. The count is 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch, fouled down the first base side, now to play on the four-seam fastball on the outside corner, and the count is 0-2. So Hunter Green, one pitch away here from retiring the Redbirds in order here in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Cardinals. Nobody on with 2 out. Now the 0-2 pitch. Hit on out there into right field. Going back is the right fielder. He makes the catch in front of the track for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. After 2 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the third inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, and you haven't done so already, and you feel I've earned it, please do leave a like. It's definitely helping this channel continue to grow, get out there to more Cardinal fans and more baseball fans generally. And if you're not already subscribed and you like what you hear and see, well then by all means hit subscribe. We have a great growing community here on Game Mike. With that said, 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the third inning. Yes, indeed, guys. Yeah, because Philip was mentioning how it used to be 50,000 plus, and I figured he was probably referring to the previous Busch Stadium, which would make a lot of sense. I mean, it was a multi-purpose stadium that also held the St. Louis football Cardinals. But these baseball specific parks that began being built in the early 90s, with a few exceptions, have all generally been under 50. I think the new Yankee, well, I say new, it opened up in 2009. The new Yankee Stadium at one point was maybe 52. I think they might have just brought it under 50. I'm not 100% on that. But here we are. Hey, Nick, a.k.a. For Life. How's it going? Great to see ya. 46 likes, 142 people watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and sub. Thank you so much, Nick. So we await the top of the third inning. Andre Pallante will be going out for his third frame of work. Due up for the Reds is Arroyo, Hayes, and De La Cruz, 8, 9, and 1 in the Cincinnati order. The 22-year-old second baseman, the rookie Arroyo, hitting .254 this year. Righty-lefty matchup, Pallante's back on the bump. And the first pitch to Arroyo. A four-seam fastball down and in, out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Now, coming set is Pallante. The 1-0 pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up there on a hop by Weatherall to his left. He throws to first in time to get Arroyo. So Arroyo bounces out 4-3 for the first out. Now here comes the third baseman, Hayes. The 29-year-old third baseman, Brian Hayes, in 137 at-bats, 146, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs this year. Righty-righty matchup. Pallante's on the bump. He winds. The first pitch to Hayes. Strike, sinker in or third below the belt. The count is 0-1. Coming sets Pallante. The 0-1. And there's a pop-up into shallow right field, going into foul territory. Into foul territory is Jordan Walker. He makes the catch right next to the running track near the stands for the second out of the inning. So Hayes fouls out there for the second out. So a couple of quick outs there by Pallante. He's thrown 30 pitches through 2 2/3 innings of work. Now here is Ellie De La Cruz, who's 0 for 1, the switch hitter, hitting left-handed. So it'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out. Top of the third inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Now the first pitch to De La Cruz. Strike. Four-seam fastball down Broadway. The count is 0-1. De La Cruz, when he gets on base, he is a menace. He's a force. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of De La Cruz, so we await the 0-1 offering. Now Pallante comes set. The 0-1. Hit to up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Picked up out there in center off the ground is Nate Church. So Ellie De La Cruz hits a single to center with a 2-out hit here. And now the Reds have a runner on first with 2 out. That was just to the right field side of second. So Ellie De La Cruz is on base, and boy, does he demand a lot of attention on the base pass. Here is Sal Stewart. He's 0 for 1. Righty-righty matchup. From the stretches, Pallante. He sets to the bird. Runner leads off first. The first pitch. A slider in the dirt, blocked very well there by Herrera. The count is 1-0. Sal Stewart hitting .250, 21 home runs, 75 RBIs in 102 games. De La Cruz leads off first. It's a 1-0 count. He throws over back in time with the head first slide is De La Cruz, so we await the 1-0 offering. I did trip up on a couple of words there, Nick. Now, here's the pitch. Foul back on the sinker, up and in, and the count is 1-1. Happens to the best of us. Went to high school with the first Redbird. That's interesting. It's a 1-1 count. I always thought mascots are supposed to keep their identity top secret, but maybe I was misinformed. Coming set at the birds is Pallante. De La Cruz leads. The pitch. Hit to the left side. Picked up there deep at third. He throws to second to get De La Cruz. For the force does Blaze Jordan for the third and final out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No walks. 1 left on. And after 2.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the third inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Wow. Well, yeah, of course, that's an AI-generated image, Nick. People were saying they missed my beard, so I gave them a stylized look at it. Don't worry, I'll be back on camera soon enough. Just taking a little time setting it up. When you're a one-man band doing it all at once and a lot of moving pieces in a space that wasn't exactly designed to house it, take a little more time. Nah, it's cool, Nick. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. You got it, Jeff. Happy to do it. I look forward to getting back on camera, getting the full experience back here. Now, due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the third inning is Nate Church, J.J. Weatherall, and Jordan Walker. So 9, 1, and 2 in the Redbird order. Hunter Green had a very quick bottom of the second inning after giving up 1 in the bottom of the first. And the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead, and we're back for the bottom of the third inning. So stepping into the box is Nate Church. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Nate Church is hitting .228 this year with 8 home runs, 29 RBIs, and a .634 OPS and 259 at-bats. On deck is J.J. Weatherall. Hunter Green back out into the bump. Infield defense shaded towards right with the lefty Church. The first pitch. Four-seam fastball inside, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Now, the 1-0 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire. Doesn't even need to appeal. It was on a slider down and in, and the count is 1-1. Now, the 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the outer third below the belt, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, the crowd seems to be filling in even a little bit more here as we get into the third inning. It's good to see a decent crowd out there. Now, the 1-2 offering. A slider well down and in and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nate Church offensively, certainly average-wise, has fallen off in about the last 3 weeks. He's looking to get it back together. The 2-2. Swinging strike 3. Down. Heck, it goes Nate Church for the first out of the inning. So, another Hunter Green strikeout. Hunter Green has a couple of them here so far. And here comes J.J. Weatherall. 0 for 1, a run scored. He reached on the error by De La Cruz to lead off the game. Righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Once again, infield defense playing back and shaded towards right with the lefty Weatherall. Green comes one, the 1-0. A four-seam fastball upstairs, 98 miles an hour, and the count is 2-0. When J.J. Weatherall is getting on base, the Cardinals score. The 2-0. Strike, four-seam fastball outside quarter below the belt. The count is 2-1. What I mean by that is when he's hitting, when he's getting on base, that is when the engine starts running. He is absolutely critical to it here in his first season in the big leagues. The 2-1. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. So nobody on with 1 out. Bottom of the third inning. 1-0 Cardinals. He winds the 3-1. There's a fly ball out to left field. Going back is Blade. He's on the track in front of the Spectrum advertisement, in front of the Reds bullpen, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So J.J. Weatherall, a long, deep fly, but the putout is 7 in your scorecard for the second out. And here comes Jordan Alexander Walker, singled in his first at-bat. James, okay, yeah, no problem. Now here's a pitch. Slider hit down the first base side and out of play. The count is 0-1. Justin Beasley's father, James, but he goes by Papa Bear. Well, Papa Bear, thank you so much for joining us. Justin is a hell of a dude. Now the 0-1. Hit to the left side and into outfield. The left center field. Going around first into second is Jordan Walker, head first slide, and he has himself a 2-out double. Oh, what a play there by Jordan Walker. He noticed that Blade was unable to get over to that thing in the gap in time. He was thinking double all the way on that thing. In reality, in most situations, the center fielder was very much shaded towards right center field, which left a huge gap in left center and gave Jordan Walker the opportunity to round first and go into second with the head first sliding double with 2 out. So a runner on second with 2 out. Now here is Alec Burleson. He's 1 for 1. He had that RBI single that scored J.J. Weatherall back in the bottom of the first inning. That's the difference in this game. Runner leads off second, the first pitch. A four-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Infield defense playing back and towards right with the lefty Burleson. Leading off second is Jordan Walker with 2 outs. From the stretch is Green, the 1-0. A four-seam fastball well up away, and the count is 2-0. Scott Reed, Biloxi, ... Go Cardinals. Good to see you, Scott. Runner leads off second. The 2-0 offering. A slider upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and no strikes. Alec Burleson this year with runners in scoring position, 2 out, 349. Not bad. Does he go into statue mode at 3-0? We shall see. Next pitch is going to be Hunter Green's 40th. He comes set. The 3-0. Strike. He's taken all the way on the four-seam fastball, outer third above the knees, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Burleson is back into the box. Coming set above the belt is Hunter Green. The 3-1. Check swing on the slider in. Did he go around? Yes, says Blue down the third baseline. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. So with a full count and 2 out, Jordan Walker will be going. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Green sets. Green deals. Swinging strike 3 on the slider, down and away for the third and final out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. After 3 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Fix Whitey's house in New Athens, Illinois. Serious baseball manager. Yes, he was. You know, one of my favorite baseball memories is I guess it was Whitey Herzog Day, but it was a night game, when they inducted him into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Gave away his bobblehead. They had the Clydesdales out. You know, he put on that Cardinal red blazer along with all the other living members of that very special club. It was a great night. The Cardinals do fanfare of that variety exceedingly well in very unique fashion. And so being able to see it up close and personal like that was really tremendous. I remember they were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates that night at Busch. I don't remember who won, but everybody in attendance won because we got to see one of the finest managers in Cardinal history get all the honors and accolades that he was due. Now, due up in the top of the 4th inning for the Cincinnati Reds is J.J. Bleday, Eugenio Suarez, and Stevenson. When you think about those 80s Cardinals, I was just watching some rando game of theirs against the Cubs from back in the 80s, back when they still had the AstroTurf. And just how fast that field played, it really complemented the very fast and run-heavy version of baseball that they used at the time. It was really cool. All right, we're back here for the top of the 4th inning. Hey, they're giving us sight into the broadcast booth out there at Busch. Now, the first pitch of Bleday, hit to the right side and just fouled down the first baseline on the four-seam fastball, down and in. The count is 0-1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Bleday, in his first plate appearance tonight, walked. It's 1-0 Cardinals in the top of the 4th inning. Eric Boyce is at the game. How about that? Coming set is Pallante. The 0-1 offering. A splitter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. J.J. Bleday, 236, 17 home runs, 44 RBIs in 74 games. It's a 1-1 count. Pallante has his pitch. He winds the 1-1. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picked up there by Jordan Walker, so Bleday has a leadoff single to right. And the Reds have a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. That was one of the first truly hard-hit balls off of Pallante tonight. I'm not sure I've seen him throw a knuckle curve up to this point. It could be that he's trying to save it for the second or possibly third time through the order, or he was just not feeling it in the bullpen. From the stretch is Pallante. The first pitch to Suarez. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball inside, and the count is 0-1. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're at the game, Eric. Where are you sitting? In case we see you on TV. Now, the 0-1. Strike, sinker on the inner third at the knees, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. So a runner on first with nobody out. Bleday reached on the leadoff single to right. It's an 0-2 count. Pallante comes set at the stretch. He sets at the Birds. The 0-2. Bounce down in front of home plate with that knuckle curve. And it is obviously ruled a ball, and the count is 1-2. Staying right there at first is Blade. They're showing Chaim Bloom once again in the offices overlooking the field. He does not know he's on television. Now, coming set at the Birds is Pallante. The 1-2. A slider down and away and over the lefty batter's box. The count comes even at 2-2. You got to imagine Chaim Bloom has a lot on his mind at the moment. 42 pitches so far for Pallante. Runner leads off first. Coming sets Pallante. He throws over to first. Back in time is Blade with the head first slide, and we await the 2-2 offering. Suarez 0 for 1, struck out. Coming sets Pallante. The 2-2. Called strike 3. There's the throw. He goes down to second. Safe. He is Blade at second. However, it's a strikeout looking for Suarez for the first out of the inning. So Blade, he manages to steal second. However, it is a strikeout looking for Suarez, his second of the night. And the Reds have a runner on second with one out here in the top of the fourth inning. That was interesting. Now, here's the catcher, Stevenson. He's 0 for 1. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Some interesting news came through ESPN earlier today, speaking of Chaim Bloom. Coming set is Pallante. The 1-0. Chop foul behind home plate. Just got a piece of that knuckle curve away, and the count is 1-1. Which is to say, ESPN, through whatever service they're offering, has apparently listed Joshua Baez as on the trade block, which I thought was awfully interesting. I have no idea what to make about that. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the best of Stevenson, who takes one step out of the box. Takes a deep breath. He gets back in. Runner leads off second with one out. Coming set is Pallante at the stretch. The 1-1. Hit to the left side. Picked up that Mason went on the ground. He throws to first in time to get Stevenson 6-3 for the second out. Staying right there at second is Blade on the ground ball to the left side. So, runner on second with two out, top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Now, here is the right fielder, Marte. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Righty-righty matchup. Coming set is Pallante. Steps off the rubber, so he's going to wait a little longer there. Blade leads off second. Coming set is Pallante. The first pitch. Swinging strike on the knuckle curve, down and away, and the count is 0-1. That was most certainly out of the strike zone. Marte went fishing on that. Marte 0 for 1 with a ground out. Pallante comes set. He deals. Hit on out there and picked up on a line by Mason Wynn, and it's just beyond the grasp of Blaze Jordan, who missed it, but it's picked up on the bloop there for the third and final out of the inning by Mason Wynn. So no runs and one left on. After 3.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the fourth inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the fourth. Let's go to the chat. Yes, indeed. Well, so Pallante got out of some brief difficulty there, but all's fair in love and war there. Yeah, getting some runs would be nice. Yep, indeed, CCSY. But the reality is, whether you're playing baseball or you're watching baseball, you can only play it one game at a time. And right now, Cardinals need to be squarely focused in where they are, and not a moment too soon. Due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the fourth inning, Ivan Herrera, followed by Nootbaar and Wynn. So 4, 5, and 6 in the Cardinal order. Going up against Hunter Green, who'll be coming out for his fourth frame. Hunter Green so far tonight, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, not earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. So he's put a representative effort together so far. Herrera, of course, is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, and both Nootbaar and Wynn are each 0 for 1 respectively. All right, we're back for the bottom of the fourth inning. Stepping into the box is Ivan Herrera. He will face Hunter Green. Now, the first pitch. Hit on up the middle and caught on a slide there by the center fielder, Friedel, on a line for the first out of the inning. Herrera hit that thing on the screws. It just stayed up too long. And that goes under the category of when you're going bad. Whew. You know, you just can't find the luck sometimes. So Ivan Herrera lines out 8 for the first out. Now here is Lars Nootbaar. He's 0 for 1. Righty-lefty matchup. Infield defense shaded towards right, playing back against the lefty Nootbaar. The first pitch from Green. A splitter well up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Ron Lyle, good evening from Vermont. Go Cards. Cheers to the Green Mountain State. Now the 1-0 pitch. Strike. Splitter just whispers over the black of the inside corner, thigh high, and the count is 1-1. Nobody on with 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 Cardinals. He winds the 1-1. Foul down the third baseline and out of play on the four-seam fastball in. The count is 1-2. Mike, you looked it up. You looked it up. Yeah, it was a warm night that August night. Now, the 1-2. A slider inside ruled a ball. The count is 2-2. I remember that night we were sitting in the left field bleachers above the Pirates bullpen. Not bad seats. The 2-2. A four-seam fastball down and in and out of the zone, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Thank you for looking that up, Mike. I'm going to store that away in my noodle for the future. On deck is Mason Wynn. The 3-2 offering. Hit down the left field line, giving chase is Blade, but it goes into the stands, and the count remains 3-2. Nootbaar is back into the box. Green from the full wind, he deals. There's a fly ball out into shallow center field. Underneath it is De La Cruz calling for it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So, a bit of a fly out there to shallow left center field on the part of Nootbaar. Now, nobody on with 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 Cardinals. And here comes Mason Wynn, the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Righty-righty matchup. Hunter Green, 50 pitches so far in 3 2/3 innings of work. Now the first pitch. A slider inside ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Green does like to move quickly when possible. He winds the 1-0 offering. Hit out to shallow right field. Coming in is the right fielder. Camps underneath it. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 4 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 5th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you enjoy my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, you haven't done so already and you think I deserve it, please do leave a like. It is helping get this stream pushed out there to more Cardinals fans, which need all the help they can at the moment, following them day in and day out. I call almost every Cardinal game, underline almost. Things do get in the way. I cannot pretend they do not. And Lord knows I will appreciate it. And if you're not already subscribed and you like what you hear and see, well then hit subscribe. Be great to have you. With that said, 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 5th inning. Me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. This has been a quick game. It hasn't even been a full hour since first pitch, and it's already the top of the 5th inning. And right now, I'm getting a bunch of Hulu commercials for the newest season of the King of the Hill revival, which I am very on. I love the original run of the show. Season 14 was fine. I haven't seen 15 yet. I'm sure I'll watch it at some point because, you know, King of the Hill is a tremendous show. But, you know, it's kind of weird. I'm not going to get into a whole monologue on King of the Hill, but it's just kind of weird how they chose to age him up, because they're making Bobby, Connie, and Joseph into, you know, Gen Z when they were millennials in the original show. Oh, thank you so much, Scott Reed. I do appreciate it. Warlord, come on, Reds, at least get on the board. It's good to see you, Warlord. Welcome back. All right, we're back here for the top of the 5th inning. Due up is Friedel, Arroyo, and Hayes, 7, 8, 9 in their order. Righty-lefty matchup against the lefty hitting Friedel. He shows bunt, and he misses. It is called a strike on the four-seam fastball down and in, and the count is 0-1. Shark Week starts tomorrow night. I didn't know that, Dennis. From what I understand, Shark Week is a national treasure. Pallante looks in. He comes wide. The 0-1 to Friedel. A knuckle curve down and in the dirt in. The count is 1-1. Friedel is back into the box. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Cardinals. Pallante winds. The 1-1 offering. Chop foul and over towards the Cardinal on deck circle on the four-seam fastball in. And the count is 1-2. That was the 51st pitch for Pallante tonight. Fairly economical in 4+ innings of work. He is ahead of Friedel here, 1-2. He has his sign. He winds. He deals. A splitter away and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2-2. TJ Friedel, 173, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs in 62 games. Now, Pallante winds the 2-2. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Friedel for the first out of the inning. That was on a four-seam fastball down and in. So Pallante gets Friedel hacking for the first out. Now, a question that I like to ask periodically to those in attendance and in the chat and anybody who wants to contribute here, because I find it interesting for a number of reasons. I'll get to it in a moment. Now, the first pitch to Arroyo. Swinging strike on the knuckle curve down and in. Nearly goes to the back foot of the lefty Arroyo, and the count is 0-1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Arroyo is 0 for 1. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Cardinals. Pallante winds. Pallante deals. A knuckle curve bounced out in front of home plate, and the count is 1-1. And that is... Well, John Harding, I'm glad that I can provide this service to you. I'm glad you enjoy it so much. I'm glad it is so useful to you. And I really appreciate the support of you coming back each and every game. The 1-1. And there's a fly ball out into left field. Coming in is Newpar calling for it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So he flies out 7 for the second out. Now to Hayes, the third baseman, the 9-hitter who's 0 for 1. Something that I like to ask the audience every once in a while, because I like learning about new ones, and I like to know what you guys are into to some degree or another. Now, the 0-1. A slider downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. What are some of your favorite go-to YouTube channels? Like some of your true favorites. I love knowing this stuff. And if you're interested in sharing, please do in the chat. I'd like to see. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider down Broadway. Swinging underneath that one is Hayes, and the count is 1-1. Now Pallante is back onto the bump. The 1-1 pitch. A knuckle curve just upstairs on the outer third ruled a ball. The count is 2-1. Love to watch stuff about Halloween and Michael Myers for me. Interesting. All right, Jimmy. Now, the 2-1 offering. Swinging strike on the slider on the outer third below the belt. And the count comes even at 2-2. Low-quality Bruins fan. Okay. And if there are any specific sports channels you watch, whatever sport it might be, I'm curious about that too. Now, the 2-2 pitch. Hit on out there into left field, charging in his new par. He catches it on a line for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 4.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Let's get back to this question. Okay. For all my football needs, I follow Tom Grassi. Happy Hodag. Tom Grassi is the gold standard. I watch Tom too. He is great. Lots of NFL and MLB stuff for me. Okay. History, YouTubers, politics, World War II shows. Warlord, I take it you watch to some degree World War II in real time. I know they're done with the proper stretch of the show, but that's quite a project. I enjoy watching sports, cards content, police body cam videos. Fascinating. Locked On Hoosiers. All right. Josh Pate. Not familiar with Josh Pate. Biloxi. I'm a retired firefighter, Paul. Love watching real-life rescue situations. All right. You know, as sports stuff goes, you know, you mentioned Tom Grassi. You can't mention Tom Grassi without That's Good Sports and Brandon Perna. I love Brandon Perna. They're great. Those two together are great. I love watching them and do their Grassi Perna podcast. In addition, just the individual stuff they do. That's really good stuff. I enjoy that a lot. I like Kent Sterling. Okay. He's a local sports reporter in Indy covering the Colts, Pacers, Hoosiers, and more. Okay. How many of y'all watch Brody Brazil? Undoubtedly, there are folks out there who have come across Brody at some point. Due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 5th inning is Brian Torres, Blaze Jordan, and Nate Church. So 7, 8, 9 in the Cardinal order. All three are 0 for 1. Cowboys, Cardinals, and Heats are my favorite sports teams. College is Ohio State. All right. I've seen his content. Yeah. Yeah, I like Perna. He has a sense of humor that I appreciate. Now, the first pitch. Strike, slider on the inner third below the belt to Brian Torres, and the count is 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup, infield defense playing back end towards right with the lefty Torres, the 0-1. Check swing, did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline, the count is 1-1. Podcast. Nathan Filione, Alan Tudyk, also the Misfits. Oh, that's actually a really good name, the Misfits. Now, the 1-1 offering. There's a fly ball into center field. Friedel goes a few feet over to his right. He's underneath it for the first out of the inning. So Brian Torres flies out 8. I have to imagine out there are some fellow Red Letter Media fans. Beyond just Mr. Plinkett, of course. Now here is Blaze Jordan with nobody out. With 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 Cardinals. The first pitch from Green. Strike. Sinker whispers over the black of the outside corner below the belt, and the count is 0-1. Misfits is Tory. Oh, really? From Mythbusters. Okay. The 0-1. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is 1-2 strikes. So nobody on with 1 out. It's a 1-2 count to Blaze Jordan. Righty-righty matchup. Next pitch is going to be Hunter Green's 59th. Blaze is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Hit on up the middle. Picked up there by the second baseman Arroyo to the right of second. He throws to first in time to get Blaze Jordan. So Blaze Jordan grounds out 4-3 for the second out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Smartless. Okay. As World War II podcasts go, I do like we have ways of making you talk, but that's just because I'm a really big James Holland fan. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike over the top of the slider, down and in to Nate Church, and the count is 0-1. Nate Church is 0 for 1 tonight. Righty-lefty matchup. Coming winds Green, the 0-1. And he popped him straight up in the infield. Coming in as the third baseman in foul territory, he makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 5 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 6th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. Jimmy, Ghost Hunters YouTube channel. Okay. Now, I know Roger's out there, or at least he was earlier tonight. He and I were discussing a bit in the chat there a few nights ago, the Y-Files, which is just like one of the most entertaining channels on all of YouTube. It's one of those things you can put on and just be like, this guy AJ, he really does an amazing job telling these stories. You know, I never really, ever really listened to Coast to Coast in its heyday, but I get the feeling that AJ has some of that same magic, if I understand correctly. This game is moving at a scorching pace. Yeah. 65 minutes, 5 full innings. Yeah. Pitchers duel. What can we say? Due up for the Reds here in the top of the 6th inning is De La Cruz, Stewart, and Blade. 1, 2, and 3 in the Reds order. Andre Pallante, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Pallante has thrown 61 pitches, 40 of which have been strikes. Quite economical. Presidential history. My favorite president is JFK. Now, I'm curious, Jimmy. Why is JFK your favorite president? This is not a political discussion. This is really, I cannot emphasize this, a historical one. You know, the man was murdered over 60 years ago, so I think we can avoid the policy debate here. Into the box is De La Cruz. He's 1 for 2. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch. A slider up and away and out of the zone from Pallante. The count is 1-0. So top of the 6th inning, 1-0 Cardinals. The switch hitter, De La Cruz, batting left. Coming winds Pallante. The 1-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball well inside, and the count is 2-0. Pallante looks in. He comes wide. The 2-0. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, 95 miles an hour out of the right hand of Pallante. The count is 2-1. Y-Files are great. I also enjoy watching ER-type videos from Australia and Great Britain. Interesting. Okay. The 2-1 offering. Swinging strike on the slider, down and in. Swinging over the top of that one is De La Cruz, and the count comes even at 2-2. Ah, yes he is. The 2-2 pitch. Knuckle curve bounces out in front of home plate, and the count is full 3-2. Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald. I've actually been to the book depository building, the 13th floor where they put a museum, is where Lee Harvey Oswald found his perch. Infield defense playing back, and not terribly shaded, almost straight away in a way. The 3-2. Called strike 3. Knuckle curve on the outer third above the knees for the first out of the inning. So De La Cruz gets caught in the observatory, takes the old backwards K, Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic, for the first out of the inning. And that was a nasty knuckle curve. That would have made Mike Messina proud. He's still alive, but it would have made him proud. Now here's Sal Stewart, righty-righty matchup. Stewart's 0 for 2. Nobody on with 1 out, top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. A slider misses away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Oh, Swiss dog sled racing. Oh, you're kidding. The 1-0. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. For starters, many more reasons to. Okay. Now, I didn't see what you wrote past. I'll get to that in a moment. Now, Pallante comes wine, the 2-0. Hit to the left side, pick it up there by Blaze Jordan on the ground, wide of third. He throws to first in time to get Sal Stewart. So Sal Stewart grounds out 5-3 for the second out. I believe in helping others, working hard, being a good person, innovation, and moving forward. When it comes to technology, space, and policy, his ideologies matches mine. Fair enough. Well, one thing that we can never give him enough credit for, helping us, making sure the Cuban Missile Crisis didn't boil over. Now, here's the first pitch to Blade. A knuckle curve up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. An excellent book on that very subject is 1 Minute to Midnight. The 1-0 pitch. Strike, slider on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is 1-1 to Blade. Righty-lefty matchup. Infield defense playing back and shaded towards right with the lefty Blade. Blaze Jordan up against the lip of the grass. It's equidistant between second and third. The 1-1. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the splitter, and the count is 1-2. It's written by Michael Dobbs. He actually came out with it in 2008. A fantastic, remarkably thorough, and very readable account of that whole event. Very, very stirring. Nobody on with 2 out. It's a 1-2 count, top of the 6th inning. The 1-2. A slider misses the outside corner, and the count comes even at 2-2. 2 Minutes to Midnight. Great song. So Blade gets back into the box. He is 1 for 1 with a walk. Here's the pitch. Hit to the right side, and it goes just foul down the first base side. And the count remains even at 2-2. Oh, Joe Mixon is likely being forced to retire? Oh, no kidding, Jimmy. Now, Pallante comes set. He winds. He deals. There's a fly ball down the left field line, and it is slicing into the stands, and so the count remains 2-2. He is a fascinating president. Chris Carnes, longtime listener, first-time caller. I'll get to the rest of the bat in a minute, Chris. Now, the 2-2 pitch. A sinker well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. Longtime listener, first-time caller. You might enjoy nerd history. He takes different combat groups and puts them in historical situations. Oh, that's interesting, Chris. The 3-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into center field. Coming in is Nate Church, camped underneath it. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. After 5.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right, let's get back to this question. I'm enjoying this. All right. Okay, Dennis. The book Hit List by Richard Belzer is a pretty good book about the Kennedy assassination. Interesting. Jimmy. I'll never believe Oswald did it, judging on ballistics. If someone got shot from behind, they would go forward. Kennedy goes backwards. Simple ballistics. Hey, I know they've been trying to puzzle that one out for a long time. All I know is, having been to that museum, if it were him, that was a heck of a shot. But for me, it's not exactly the sacred cow as it is for others. When I think of JFK, I think about just how adeptly he managed to handle the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the fact that we're all here to still be talking about it. That was a scary 13 days. Now, due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the sixth inning is going to be J.J. Weatherall, Jordan Walker, and Alec Burleson. J.J. Weatherall is 1 for 2. Jordan Walker is 2 for 2. And Alec is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout. So we wait the bottom of the sixth inning. Hunter Green so far, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, not earned, no walk, 3 strikeouts. He has thrown 61 pitches so far, 40 for strikes. Here's the first pitch to J.J. Weatherall. A slider strike, inner third at the knees. The count is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. A splitter downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. DJ Nick Fly. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. Now, the 1-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Back into the box is Weatherall. The 2-1 offering. A sinker just misses the inside corner. It's ruled a ball. The count is 3-1. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the sixth inning. 1-0 Cardinals. The 3-1 offering. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball down and in. So J.J. Weatherall works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And here comes Jordan Walker, who's 2 for 2. 66 pitches for Green. I've been there as well. And I've been behind the picket fence. Lines up with the X of where his car was. Interesting. Now, here's the pitch from Green. Swinging strike on the slider down and away. And the count is 0-1. Dennis. The documentary, The Men Who Killed Kennedy, kind of alludes that Oswald never had anything to do with it. Yeah. Now, he throws over to first. Back in time with the head first slide is Weatherall. The count remains 0-1. Just got home driving all the way from Destin, Florida to Sparta, Missouri. The 0-1. A slider just misses the outside corner. The count is 1-1. Yeah, Destin, St. Louis by the sea. Hopefully now that I'm home from vacation, the Cards can start winning again. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, we're doing okay, DJ Nick Fly. The 1-1. Popped up there behind home plate. Giving chase is Stevenson. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So, Jordan Walker fouls out behind home plate for the first out. And here comes Alec Burleson, DJ Nick Fly. Yeah, I had no service at all after we left Disney World. Good to be home, but I miss Florida. Let's go Cardinals. Cheers. Now here is Alec Burleson. He's 1 for 2. First pitch. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picked up there by the right fielder, and now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 1 out. So Alec Burleson, it's his second hit of the night, so he is 2 for 3 with the RBI and the strikeout. 70 pitches for Green. And Stevenson's out there having a little chat with Hunter Green. And he heads back behind the plate. Stepping into the box is the cleanup hitter, the catcher tonight, Ivan Herrera. Last at bat lined out to center field. He got good wood on it. It was just hung up too long, and it was right at Friedel. He's 0 for 2. Runners lead off first and second with 1 out. Coming set, the pitch. Strike, sinker. Down Broadway below the belt. The count's 0-1. Now, coming set is Green, the 0-1. Hit down the left field line and into the corner for a base hit. Scoring easily is Weatherall from second. He picks it up in the corner. Coming home is the runner from first, and that will give the Cardinals a 3-1 lead. A 3-0 lead on the RBI double by Ivan Herrera. Ivan the Terrible finally strikes for the first time in what feels like forever, and the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. So that one looked to be middle in. I think it was a slider. It hung, and the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead with a runner on second and 1 out. Now, the first pitch to Nootbaar. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway. The count's 0-1. Coming sets Green, the 0-1. A splitter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Runner leads off second. Here's the pitch. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-2. Back onto the bump is Hunter Green. 75 pitches. Righty-lefty matchup. It's a 1-2 count to Nootbaar. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball inside. The count is 2-2. Jeff Coleman with a $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. That is awesome. I cannot thank you enough for it. And yes, I can accept super chats now. And thank you for your generosity, Jeff. The 2-2. Check swing on the slider down and in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Mason Wynn, who's 0 for 2. Ivan Herrera leads off second with the bases clearing double. 2 already in for the Cardinals. They have a 3-0 lead. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball up and away. Challenge immediately there by Stevenson. So an ABS challenge incoming, but I think the call is going to stand. So let's wait and see the result. Oh, and it's definitely a ball. So ball 4, and Lars Nootbaar takes first. Now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 1 out. That pitch missed up by a full inch. The Reds lose one of their ABS challenges. They have 1 remaining in regulation. The Cardinals still have both of theirs. Now here's Mason Wynn with runners on first and second, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. The first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. Where did I come up with my channel's name? Oh, I'll explain that in a moment, Dennis. Coming set is Hunter Green, the 0-1 to win. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball on the inside corner, and the count is 0-2. Ah, there you go. So, when I originally started this channel, here, let me tell you the story when we're not in the middle of a big offensive inning, hopefully. So in the half inning, I'll give you the full breakdown, Dennis. Now, coming set is Green. The 0-2. Hit on out there into right field and in for a base hit. Picked up there by the right fielder. Tossed in, cut off. Herrera's going to stay there at third. And now the bases are loaded with one out. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, Mason Wynn manages to load the bases with that single to right. And the Cardinals may just have something cooking here. And upcoming is Brian Torres, who's 0 for 2. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Indeed, the pond is full of ducks. Thanks for reminding me about that, Justin. I haven't seen you, Thurman, tonight, but if you are listening out there somewhere. Now, they're having a little chat out there with Hunter Green again. It looks like the pitching coach. That is not Terry Francona. And the powwow is broken up. So the pond is full of ducks, Thurman, wherever you may be. And here comes the 29-year-old rookie, Brian Torres. 3 for 18 with a home run, 4 RBIs with runners in scoring position this year. Infield defense playing even with the bags. 3 infielders on the right side, the shortstop just to the left side of second. The first pitch to Torres. Half swing on the four-seam fastball up and away, and it's a strike, and the count is 0-1. That was the 86th pitch for Green. 2 already in for the Cardinals. There's 1 out with the bases loaded. Coming set is Hunter Green, the 0-1. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Scoring easily is Herrera. The throw home is cut off, and run scores, and that will give the Cardinals a 4-0 lead on the RBI single to right with 1 out by Brian Torres, and the Cardinals take a 4-0 lead. And that was a four-seam fastball middle. Brian Torres knew exactly what to do with it and how. Everybody goes station to station on that one. Now here's Blaze Jordan, righty-righty matchup. Blaze is 0 for 2 tonight. Bases loaded with 1 out. Hunter Green sets the first pitch. Swinging strike on the splitter down Broadway just below the knees. Swung over the top of that one. He's 0-1. Blaze Jordan 1 for 4 with his career with the bases loaded. Infield defense playing straight away. The 0-1. Hit foul behind home plate on the splitter on the inner third thigh high, and the count is 0-2. Back into the box is Blaze Jordan. Taking a deep breath is Hunter Green. He sets the 0-2. And did it get a piece of Blaze Jordan? No, it did not. He got out of the way somehow, and the count is 1-2. Coming set at the belt is Hunter Green, the 1-2. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball upstairs. 98 miles an hour from Green. The count remains 1-2. So runners lead. It's a 1-2 count. Coming sets Green. The pitch. Hit to the right side and through the hole into right field for a base hit. At least one run will score. Here comes the second runner. He will score. And that will give the Cardinals a 6-0 lead on the 2 RBI single to right for the rook Blaze Jordan. And the Cardinals have a 6-0 lead. And now runners are on first and third, still with only 1 out. To me, that looked like a splitter that hung up and did not have the action that Hunter Green hoped it would. With the first baseman playing well off the bag, he had no chance at it. And now here's Tito Francona. He's going to the pen, so we have ourselves a pitching change. Both the runners on first and third are still the responsibility of Hunter Green, so Tito goes to the pen. And the Cardinals have a 6-0 lead. They have 5 across here in the bottom of the 6th inning. How about that? How about that? Little Mel Allen for you. Well, we can only hope, Harold. We can only hope. The bats are blazing. Cheers, Anthony. It is a nice change of pace, isn't it? Hi, Harold. How you doing tonight? Having a good Saturday? I hope you are. So we await the pitching change by Tito Francona. Seeing a bunch of highlights there during the commercial break on Cardinals.tv of Cam Schlittler's Day 2 start this year against the Giants in San Francisco. Man, can that kid pitch. Woo. What I wouldn't give to put him in a Cardinal uniform. I know I've said it before. Dude's a competitor. Oh. Well, my heart isn't in my shoe. Well, that's looking up, as it has been the last few games. Fair enough, Harold. I can accept this. All right, so they're going to the lefty, Maul. Maul in 41 innings pitch, a 4.39 ERA and a whip of 1.39, 9.88 Ks per nine. That's over 47 games. He will face the lefty, Nate Church. On deck is J.J. Weatherall. I believe the Cardinals have nearly batted around. Now, the first pitch to Church. Strike, sinker on the outside corner above the knees. The count is 0-1. Runners lead off first and third. The 0-1 from Maul. A sweeper away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. The tarps off crowd in the right center field bleachers is going nuts right now. Runners lead the 1-1. A sinker away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1 strike. Nate Church Maul comes set to Church. The 2-1. He shows bunt, and he bunts it up there past the pitcher. Picked up by Maul. Shove throws over to first in time for the second out. But scoring is Torres from third on the push bunt. And an RBI by Nate Church. And that will give the Cardinals a 7-0 lead. Moving from first to second is Blaze Jordan. You don't see that too often from Nate Church. That push bunt there. He hit it just hard enough and just enough to his right of the mound for Brian Torres to score from third. Now the Cardinals have a runner on second with 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning, 7-0. Now here is J.J. Weatherall, who's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. A sinker strike, outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. Oh, boy. The Cardinals finally putting it all together here. Maul comes set. The 0-1. A sweeper well inside, and the count is 1-1. Yes, it has, Happy Hodag. Yes, it is. Let all your frustrations out. Now Maul sets. He deals. Swing and a miss on the sweeper in, and the count is 1-2. So Maul is 1 strike away from getting out of this bottom of the 6th inning, where the Cardinals have pushed across 6. Blaze Jordan leads off second. It's a 1-2 count. Coming sets Maul. He deals. Spoil the sweeper away, filed down the third baseline. Counts 1-2. Let's go, Cards. Let's keep this lead. Yeah. I really hope so. I can tell you that. J.J. Weatherall reached on an error in his first plate appearance by De La Cruz. Coming sets Maul. He sets at the belt. He deals. Spoiled on the four-seam fastball, down and away, down the left field line, and the count remains 1-2. Blaze Jordan standing down there at second. A nice night for him. Coming set small. The 1-2. Swinging strike three. Down goes Weatherall Akin for the third and final out of the inning. But not before the Cardinals put up a 6 spot. We go to the top of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D, and if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, you haven't done so already, you feel I deserve it, please do leave a like. Helping out this channel more than you can know by just hitting that little like button of yours, getting it out to more Cardinal fans and baseball fans. Right now, Cardinal fans need all the help they can get following the Redbirds, given the bizarre broadcast situation. And if you like what you see and it's your first time here, or you've been here multiple times, you haven't done it already, but you still like what you see, well, boy, oh boy, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, 7-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Only 5 more gets to 100 likes. I'm here for it. 6 is a serious number, Cardinal fans. Stop by On the Run tomorrow for your free tasty freeze. Are they still doing that? Oh, thank you, Warlord. I don't know. How long has it been since I can't remember the last time I saw that. Well, they haven't been scoring 6 runs very often, so there's a good chance I would just totally overlook it. Even though I was at and on the run late last night, picked up some of that really, really good bacon jerky by, I think it's Jack Link's, which, you know, the regular stuff is okay, but I love the bacon jerky. I can't pretend I don't. Now, out for his 7th frame is Pallante. The first pitch, Eugenio Suarez. Strike, sinker on the inside, quarter above the knees. The count is 0-1. Harold with the $2 super. Bombers Game Mike with Big Paul D is where it's at. Thank you so much, Harold. I really appreciate your generosity. The pitch, a sinker in. The count is 1-1. That reminds me, Dennis, I have to give you an explanation on the whole Bombers thing. So, Tom is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Suarez. So, when I first created this channel on the 18th of March of this year, Suarez is 0 for 2. I initially did it with the aim of calling Yankee games. Start there. The 1-1 from Pallante. Strike, slider on the outer third above the knees. The count is 1-2. And I did that for a little over a month. It was fine. You know, I got myself up to speed through spring training and just like calling historical games. The 1-2. Swinging, strike three. Down goes Suarez for the first out of the inning. And then, I believe it was on the 13th of May, I was on the road. My wife had a particularly hard day at work. The regulars know this story, so I asked them to be indulgent here. And, well, the point is, this started out as a Yankee play-by-play channel, hence the Bombers part. Now, here's the pitch. A knuckle curve just low, challenged immediately there by Herrera. It was on the outer third, so an ABS challenge incoming at the behest of... Now, the 0-1 pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Wife had a particularly hard day at work. I was on the road. So the Yankees had already played. The Cardinals were on the West Coast, so I decided I was going to call that game so she could listen to me going to sleep. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider, down and away. Swinging over the top of that one is the catcher, Stevenson. And the count is 1-2. I only thought it was going to be basically she and I and a few randos. That is not what happened. Not at all. And I have loved the Cardinals now for the better part of 20 years. Now, the 1-2 pitch. A knuckle curve bounces actually in the grass in front of home plate. The count is 2-2. Now, that being said, the natural question you might ask is, Paul, why haven't you changed it? I think it's because in its own way, over time, in something that started out inherently Yankee-coded. Now, the 2-2 from Pallante, hit to the left side, picked up there on the bounce by Blaze Jordan at third, throws to first, it's offline, but it's pulled in by Burleson, puts the tag on the runner Stevenson for the second out of the inning. It's just Bombers hasn't turned into the Bombers, it's just become Bombers Game Mike. And I can't really imagine having any great alternative or reason to want to change it at this point. It's just kind of been claimed by everybody here. Yeah, that was a nice play by Burleson on the wide throw. Now, here's the righty Marte. He's over 2. Nobody on with 2 out. The pitch from Pallante. Knuckle curve in the dirt on the outside corner. It is a ball, and the count is 1-0. Brother Joe's a fan of the Jack Slinks. The 1-0. A sinker fouled off and over the Cardinal dugout, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, I've thought about all those things, Voronor, but it is what it is now. I like it. The 1-1 pitch. Hit on out there into center field. Charging is Nate Church. He makes the catch on the run for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. It is 7th inning stretch time at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. 7-0 Cardinals. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 7-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 7th inning. No, I like it the way it is. It works. It works for me. And if I were to change it to anything, I would change it to Gas House Game Mike. But even then, there's already a podcast/radio show called Gas House Gang, which of course is named after the original Gas House Gang, which is what I would have named it afterwards if I went with Gas House Game Mike anyway. But I don't have any real interest in doing that. I think this thing is just kind of its own unique thing that's ended up in Cardinal land, precisely where it belongs. Yes, you do, Happy Hodag. That's going to be an interesting one. But this is a Cardinal channel, and I call Cardinal games. So, very little will change. The only thing that will really change in any meaningful way is that you'll get additional insight from me in regards to the team the Cardinals are playing. Harold, well, I started a Yankee fan at about 4 years old. Grandpa then Dad got me on the Cardinals when I was about 7. Now I think in a little more of a Cardinal fan than a Yankee fan, but not by much. It's a 1A thing to me. It's basically like trying to pick between your children, which is your favorite. There is no answer to that. You love them both with equal devotion and for slightly different reasons, even though I do think the two have some of their best qualities in common. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. Due up is Jordan Walker, Burleson, and Herrera, 2, 3, and 4 in the Cardinals order. And the 23-year-old right-hander Chase Petty, who was in the rotation earlier in the year, I believe. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch. Fouled back on the sweeper in. The count is 0-1. Chase Petty in 12 games. He is 1-2 with a 4.56 ERA in 25 2/3 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts and a whip of 1.13. That, and I live in St. Louis, and I like giving back to the community in which I live. The 0-1. Chop foul down the third base side, now to play on the sinker in. The count is 0-2. Well, Ozaman, I surely hope not. Believe me, that 7-0 number has definitely resonated with me after this past Sunday. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Take a drink. Now, the 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down. Hackett goes Jordan Walker on the sweeper. Down and away for the first out of the inning. So Jordan Walker goes down hacking. And here's Alec Burleson. Alec is 2 for 3 tonight. An RBI and a run scored. He also struck out swinging at one point. Nobody on with 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. 7-0 Cardinals. The first pitch from Petty. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Hey, Voronor. Just make sure it's adult in nature. Petty comes set. The 1-0. A sweeper away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Every time I say Petty, I mean, obviously there's Richard Petty, but in my mind it goes right to Petticoat Junction. And I am far too young to really have that reference, but I watched it. The 2-0. Hit on out there in the left center field and in for a base hit. So Alec Burleson goes the other way, serves one out there in the left center. I believe that is his 3rd hit of the night. Indeed it is. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oh, Tom Petty, of course. May he rest in peace. David Hodge. Paul, I have my amplifier plugged in and my air guitar ready for today. That's what I'm talking about, David Hodge. That's what I'm talking about. Now, here is Ivan Herrera in his last at-bat. A 2 RBI double broke him out of really just this funk he's been in. Runner off first, righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Strike, sinker, whispers over the black of the outside quarter at the knees. The count is 0-1. So, some of the regulars may know this, but the actual name of the song that I play as the victory tune, I'll tell you the rest here in a moment, it's very appropriate. Petty sets the 0-1. Fouled off the nub of the bat there from Herrera. That thing nearly drilled him. 2 nights in a row it nearly drilled him. The count's 0-2. The name of that song, I only play the first 30 seconds of it, is actually called Tornado. I can't think of a more appropriate name for a song for a team that finds its home in America's heartland, largely within Tornado Alley. That's not the reason I chose it. Runner leads off first. It's an 0-2 count. Petty sets the 0-2. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. So a 1-out single to right by Ivan Herrera, and the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So a couple of hits in a row there by Ivan the Terrible, the good Terrible. And that puts runners on first and second. 110 likes. I think that's the 42nd game in a row, if I remember correctly. Now, here is Jose Fermin, the pitch. A sinker in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Fermin is pinch hitting here for Lars Nootbaar, who was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. I don't know if he's just giving them the rest of the night off or there's an issue there. I hope there is not. The 1-0. Foul tipped off his foot on the sinker in. The count is 1-1. Yeah, it is a lot. And I thank each and every one of you who are watching right now or who are not here and can't hear me, but I'm thanking you anyway for making that possible. Oh, man, he fouled that right off his shins. He rolled down onto the ground on his back. He got right back up. He's fine. Runners lead off first and second. It's a 1-1 count. Chase Petty comes set. He deals. Strike. Sweeper on the inner third below the belt to Fermin. And the count is 1-2. Jose Fermin hitting .257 this year. 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, .698 OPS. The 1-2. Hit foul down the third base side and out of play on the sweeper up and in. I am actually shocked that Fermin got the barrel of the bat on that ball. But here we are. So it's a 1-2 count. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 7-0 Cardinals. They put up a huge 6 spot in the bottom of the 6th inning to blow open this game. They're looking to add some more. Petty comes set. The 1-2 to Fermin. There's a fly ball to center field. Going back is Friedel in front of the track. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Staying right there at second is Burleson. And now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here comes Mason Wynn, the 6th hitter tonight. Mason had a single to right in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3. Petty sets the pitch. Strike. Sweeper whispers over the black of the outside quarter above the knees. The count is 0-1. 1 for 3 with a run scored is Mason. Runners lead off first and second with 2 out. Coming set is Chase Petty. He deals. A sweeper away, slightly over the lefty batter's box. The count is 1-1. Runners lead off first and second. Coming set is Petty. The 1-1. Strike. Sinker on the inner third thigh high, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Chase Petty, 1 strike away of getting out of here with this, out of this jam. 17 pitches so far in relief. Mason Wynn gets back into the box. Petty comes set. He deals. A sweeper away and over the lefty batter's box. The count comes even at 2-2. Runners lead off first and second with 2 out. It's a 2-2 count. Petty sets at the belt. He deals. Swinging strike 3 on the sweeper away for the third and final out of the inning. So the Cardinals, they strand 2. We head to the top of the 8th inning. 7-0 Cardinals here in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend set against the Reds at Busch Stadium from the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D. If you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike tonight, you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. Helping out this channel a ton, to say the least, and I have you to thank for it. And thank you for those who have already and have in the past. And if you're not already subscribed, you're digging the action here on Game Mike, well, hit subscribe. It's a great time. It's a lot of fun. And some really great people keep coming back game after game. They are, by themselves, worthy the price of admission. I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. So due up for the Reds in the top of the 8th inning is going to be Friedel, Arroyo, and Hayes, 7, 8, 9 in the Cincinnati order. Pallante so far tonight, a sterling line, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. That is something. Pallante has thrown 90 pitches, 57 of them have been strikes. So I imagine Ollie will probably go to the bullpen here, just based on what we have seen previously. And we're back for the top of the 8th inning. And Gordon Graceffo is in relief of Pallante. In 42 games, Graceffo is 6-1 with a 3.28 ERA and 49 and a third innings pitched. 28 strikeouts in that span and a whip of 1.11. 5.11 Ks per 9. Now, the first pitch to the lefty, Friedl. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Friedl is 0 for 2 tonight, with a pair of strikeouts. Now, the 1-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in, ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Back into the box is T.J. Friedl. Coming set at the Birds is Graceffo. He deals. And there's a fly ball to shallow left field. Underneath it is Fairmean. He makes the catch for the first out of the top of the 8th inning. Yeah, Andre Pallante was outstanding tonight. Like I was saying a moment ago, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He was as good as you could hope to be, and definitely put to bed his poor numbers pitching at Busch Stadium this year. We'll take it. Now, here is the lefty Arroyo, the second baseman, the 22-year-old rookie. Righty-lefty matchup, he's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. 7-0 Cardinals here in the top of the 8th inning. Graceffo sets at the Birds. The 0-1. Four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. A grind out and a fly out for Edwin Arroyo. Graceffo, he sets. Graceffo deals. Swinging strike on the slider downstairs. Swinging over the top of that one is Arroyo, and the count is 1-2. Graceffo gets back onto the bump. Arroyo adjusts his batting gloves and helmet before stepping back into the box. Graceffo sets at the Birds. He deals. Swinging strike 3. Down hacking goes Arroyo for the second out of the inning. So Gordon Graceffo coming in here doing his thing. Starting tomorrow night, well, either tomorrow afternoon, is Kyle Leahy, who's been on a nice stretch recently. A 0.71 ERA in his last 5 starts. Now, here is the third baseman, Hayes, who's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. As a programming note, tomorrow afternoon, the third and final game of this series is scheduled for a 1:15 p.m. Central Time first pitch. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Hayes, who gets back into the box. I will be live back here on Game Mic for the play-by-play live stream at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Graceffo sets the 1-0. A slider down and away and in the dirt. The count is 2-0. So, scheduled first pitch tomorrow at Busch for the third and final game of this series is 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I will be live here on Game Mic for the play-by-play live stream at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Graceffo sets and deals. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball down and away, and the count is 2-1. It's a righty-righty matchup. 10 pitches so far for Graceffo. Hayes gets back into the box. Nobody on with 2 out. Top of the 8th inning, 7-0 Cardinals. Graceffo sets at the Birds. The 2-1. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Graceffo looks in. He comes set. The 3-1 offering. And popped up there by Hayes, but it will go out of play. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Graceffa 1 strike away from ending this top of the 8th inning for the Reds. On deck is the all-world Ellie De La Cruz, who's 1 for 3. Coming set is Graceffa. The 3-2 offering. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Hayes. For the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 7.5 innings of play, it is 7-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go back to the chat. Seeing all of those musical notes there in the chat. It makes my heart sing as the strikeout whistle does its thing. It may not have started here, but it's definitely made a home here. Good times indeed, Harold. Doge Bowl dabbing for us. I'll take it. So, due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 8th inning is Brian Torres, Blaze Jordan, and Nate Church. So, 7, 8, 9 in the Cardinal order. Cardinals have a 7-0 lead here. And this is a win they need to secure badly, say the least. Indeed, Raja. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jimmy Yotero. I'm glad you enjoy what I do here so much. Thank you for keep coming on back and supporting me here on Game Mike. I'm glad you're digging it. As I like to say, and it's no platitude, it's just the best way I can articulate the fact. There is no place I would rather be, and absolutely nothing else I'd rather be doing right now. Now, here is Brian Torres. He's 1 for 3. Righty-lefty matchup. Petty out for his second frame. Here's the pitch. Strike. Sweeper on the outer third below the belt to Torres, and the count is 0-1. Torres 1 for 3 with an RBI tonight. Part of that big bottom of the 6th inning. The 0-1. Strike. Changeup on the outer third below the belt. The count is 0-2. Now, the 0-2 pitch. A sweeper downstairs. Did he hold? Yes, says Blue down the third baseline. No swing, and the count is 1-2. You guys are very encouraging and very kind in your praise, and for that, I am very grateful. The 1-2. Hit on up the middle, picked up by De La Cruz on a hop behind second. He throws to first in time. So Brian Torres grounds out 6-3 for the first out here at the bottom of the 8th inning. Now here comes Blaze Jordan, who's 1 for 3 with a couple RBIs. He's starting to put it together here or there, putting some quality at-bats together. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. Fouled back on the sweeper on the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. I'm very curious to see what comes of Blaze Jordan. I like the kid. He's done a serviceable job defensively at the hot corner, occasionally substituting at first when Burleson needs either a full or half day off. The 0-1. Swinging strike on the changeup, down and away, and the count is 0-2. He still does swing at balls out of the strike zone a bit too much for my taste, but hopefully he begins to rein that in over time. Petty comes set. The 0-2 pitch. A sweeper away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. So nobody on with one out, bottom of the 8th inning, 7-0 Cardinals. Big bottom of the 6th inning if you're just joining us here. Blaze Jordan gets back into the box against Chase Petty. Petty comes set at the belt. He deals. And he popped it up there going into foul territory, giving Chase is the first baseman, and it goes a couple of rows deep into the stands, and the count remains 1-2. And there is one very happy fan there. It went off the hand of one slightly older fan and into one that is probably in his mid-40s with quite the mustache. Now, the 1-2 pitch. Hit to the left side, picked up there by the third baseman on the hop. He throws the first in time to get Blaze Jordan going down the line. So Blaze Jordan grounds out 5-3 for the second out. And here comes Nate Church, who is 1 for 2 with a walk. 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. Righty-lefty matchup. Infield defense shaded towards right with the lefty Church. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone from Chase Petty, and the count is 1-0. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the 8th inning, 7-0 Cardinals. Back into the box is Nate Church. Petty comes set. The 1-0. There's a fly ball into center field. Going back is Friedel in front of the track, in front of the gray bar sign for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. After 8 full innings of play, it is 7-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 9th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. Well, I don't think, in all likelihood, that Riley O'Brien will be brought in with a 7-0 lead. I don't think that would be good for anybody, because it would just... I mean, I understand the Cardinals want to win this game, but I don't necessarily think they want it that badly. We'll see where Marmol goes from here. But I'll say this, once again, tomorrow, hey, Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. I really do appreciate that a lot. Your generosity and the sentiment behind it is tremendously appreciated. This game isn't going to clip the 2-hour, 15-minute mark. Yeah. Will the Cardinals hold on and win this game, or will the Reds pull off an upset? Stay tuned for the 9th and find out. I hope that's not the case. Hey, it's Sinbin. Good to see ya. So we await the top of the 9th inning. Last licks for the Cincinnati Reds. Due up is Ellie De La Cruz, followed by Sal Stewart and J.J. Bleday. That's 1, 2, 3 in the Cincinnati order. Ellie De La Cruz is 1 for 3, struck out in his last at-bat. Sal Stewart is 0 for 3 with a strikeout himself. And Bleday is 1 for 2 with a walk. I can't complain. Sinbin. 7-0 Cardinal lead, top of the 9th inning. I get to call the Cardinals here. What could I have possibly to complain about? Now, the first pitch from Graceffo. A slider down and in the dirt. The count is 1-0 to Ellie De La Cruz, the switch hitter hitting left-handed against the righty Graceffo. Ellie De La Cruz struck out in his last at-bat looking on a rather nasty knuckle curve. The 1-0 pitch. A changeup just misses the outside corner. It's ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Yeah, save the pen, absolutely. Now, Graceffo comes set. The 2-0 offering. A slider up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. Oh, Jeff. You're getting pumped for a little bit of victory tune, a little bit of tornado. The 3-0. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball on the outside corner. It is ruled a ball, so Ellie De La Cruz works a leadoff walk here in the top of the ninth. And here comes Sal Stewart. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Runner on first, nobody out. Yeah, leadoff walks, the mortal sin of baseball. Well, rather than mortal sin of pitching. Now, Graceffo comes set. Runner leads. Here's the pitch. Strike. Slider on the outside corner below the belt. And the count is 0-1 from Gordon Graceffo. The 0-1. A sinker inside ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Well, you have to be at Busch Stadium for Freebird. I can't play that here. I'll get copyright strike. Here's a pitch. A changeup just missed the outside corner. It's being challenged by Ivan Herrera. I don't think it's a good challenge. But we have an ABS challenge incoming. The Cardinals still have 2 available. Indeed, it is a ball. So the call is confirmed, and the count is 2-1. It missed the inside corner by 1.4 inches. It's a 2-1 count. Hey, C. John, how's it going? Coming sets Graceffo setting at the Birds, the 2-1. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Sal Stewart. He gets back into the box. De La Cruz leads off first. The 3-1 offering. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picked up by Jordan Walker. Tosses it back in. De La Cruz staying right there at second. Down 7. And now the Reds have runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. Now here is the left fielder, the left-hand hitting J.J. Bleday. Bleday 1 for 2 with a walk. Runners on first and second. Righty-lefty matchup. Coming set is Graceffo. He deals. A slider well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. This is one of those situations, and I'm going to echo what Justin Beasley was just saying there in the chat. You're up by 7 in the top of the 9th. Attack the zone. Seriously, attack the zone. Graceffo comes set. The 1-0 offering. A changeup down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Graceffo is back onto the bump. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Bleday. He's back into the box. Runners lead off first and second. It's a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. So Gordon Graceffo has seemed to have lost the strike zone here. Now the 3-0. Ball 4, so 4 in a row out of the zone there to Bleday, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. And it looks like Ivan Herrera is going out there to slow down Gordon Graceffo. The infield is in having a little chat with him, mostly Herrera talking to Graceffo. Probably trying to break up the rhythm. However, the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. Into the box is Eugenio Suarez. He's 0 for 3. Now the first pitch of Suarez. Strike, four-seam fastball, inner third below the belt. The count is 0-1. No kidding. Huh. The 0-1. Strike, slider on the outside corner at the knees, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Now, Graceffo sets the 0-2. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Now, Graceffo sets at the Birds. The 1-2 offering. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2-2 to Suarez. Eugenio Suarez has the hat trick tonight. A strikeout hacking, looking, and hacking. Bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the 9th inning. Coming sets Graceffo. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Change up on the inside corner. Down looking is Suarez. For the first out of the inning, Eugenio Suarez has the golden sombrero of strikeouts tonight. And he is the first out here in the top of the 9th inning. Now here is the catcher Stevenson, righty-righty matchup. He's 0 for 3. Bases loaded with 1 out. Stepping off the rubber there real quick is Graceffo. He wants a change of baseball. So bases loaded with 1 out. Top of the 9th inning. 7-0 Cardinals. Into the box is Stevenson. Graceffo sets at the Birds. The first pitch. A slider in the dirt. Ruled a ball. The count's 1-0. Oh, John Wilms. John from Wentzville. Cheers, Wentzville, Missouri. Infield defense playing back at double play depth. The 1-0. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is 1-1. Cheers to Wentzville, Missouri. Missed you all the last couple of days. How has everyone been doing? I've been okay, John. I've been wondering. I haven't seen you in a little while. I hope you are all right. It's a 1-1 count. Coming set is Graceffo. The 1-1. Strike, four-seam fastball, inner third at the knees, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. Top of the 9th inning, 7-0 Cardinals. It's a 1-2 count here to the catcher Stevenson. Graceffo comes set at the Birds. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing on the changeup in. Did he go around? Yes, says Blue down the first baseline. For the second out of the inning. So Stevenson strikes out on the check swing for the second out. And it looks like he did break the front plane of the plate. And so now the bases are loaded with 2 out. Here comes Marte, who's 0 for 3. Righty-righty matchup. 35 pitches so far for Graceffo. Everybody on their feet at Busch. The first pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the slider away, and the count is 0-1. Marte, a ground out, a line out, and a line out. Graceffo sets. Graceffo deals. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Coming set is Graceffo. He deals. Hit down towards third. Picked up deep on a hop by Blaze Jordan. He throws to first in time, and that will do it. 7-0 Cardinals is your final. And you know what that means? That means it's time for the victory tune. 7-0 Redbirds is your final. Play your air guitar wherever you may be. 7-0 Redbirds is your final. And the Cardinals improved to 53-51 on the year. Cincinnati falls to 48-55. Andre Pallante improves to 11-6. He gets the win. Hunter Green falls to 2-2. He takes the loss. 7-0 Redbirds over the Cincinnati Reds at Busch here on Saturday night is your final. Tomorrow is the rubber match at Busch Stadium. Scheduled first pitch at Busch is 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I will be live here on Game Mic with the play-by-play live stream at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. So scheduled first pitch at Busch for the rubber match between the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals, 1:15 p.m. Central Time. I will be live here on Game Mic for the play-by-play live stream at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Saturday evening with me here on Game Mic for this Cardinal victory over the Cincinnati Reds. Lord knows it is always a pleasure, no matter the outcome, being able to spend an evening with all you wonderful folks at home. Roger Baseman, great call, Paul D. See ya, chat. Take care. You be well, Roger. Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. Good night, chat. Everyone have a great night. See you tomorrow afternoon. Cheers to that, Justin Beasley. Harold Hausman, what a great win. It was a great win. It was a great win. So 7-0 Cardinals over the Cincinnati Reds is your final. Tomorrow afternoon is the rubber match at Busch Stadium. John Williams, yay, great win. Cool to see everyone, if not just that, for the last inning. Paul D, Justin Beasley, and the gang, thank you. You are very welcome, John. I hope all is well out there in Wentzville. Well, everybody, thank you all so much for another wonderful evening here. JoJo Spades, thanks for the fun, Paulie D. Go Cards. Be well, JoJo. I'll see you soon. That's a winner. Yes, indeed. Dojeball, that's another win. You know it. Victory tune indeed, Hodag. Jimmy, great call, Paul. Well, thank you so much, Jimmy. I always appreciate that. Jeff Coleman, another great night, Paul D. And thank you so much, Jeff, as well as for your super chats. ZZ Captain Mastiff, thanks, Paul. Everyone, you got it, Captain. So this has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. 7-0 Cardinals over the Cincinnati Reds is your final. Tomorrow, the rubber match, 1:15 p.m. Central Time, scheduled first pitch at Busch. That is the rubber match. I'll be live here on Game Mic with the play-by-play at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. 7-0 Cardinals is your final. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. Bombers Game Mic, over and out. Be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be. 7-0 Cardinals is your final. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday night. I will see you tomorrow afternoon. John Wilms with the $10 super at the last second. Thank you so much, John. I really do appreciate it. That is incredibly generous, and I cannot thank you enough. I hope you are well. I thank you all, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Have a good night.